Nobuo Uematsu is a Japanese composer best known for his work in the video game industry, specifically the Final Fantasy series, a series created by Square Enix. Uematsu began playing the piano at 12 years old, beginning the journey to teaching himself music. He attended Kanagawa University with, surprisingly enough, because he's passionate about music, an English degree. And after getting his degree, Uematsu composed music for commercials on TV, played the keyboard in a few amateur bands, and worked at the music rental shop in Tokyo. While working in this music shop, he was approached by a Squaresoft, now a Square Enix, employee, and was asked if he'd be interested in composing music for some game titles that the company was currently in development, working on at the time. And although Uematsu started this job thinking it would just be a side job for some extra cash, that definitely would not be the case in the upcoming years. In 1986, Uematsu composed his first soundtrack for a game titled Cruise Chaser Blasty. Not long after Uematsu met Hironobu Sakaguchi, Sakaguchi asked Uematsu if he would want to create the music for some of the upcoming game titles that Square was currently working on. Uematsu agreed, and over the next year, he composed the soundtracks for games that weren't exactly widespread successors, such as Cruise Chaser Blasty. Not really a successor. In 1987, Sakaguchi and Uematsu worked together to create Sakaguchi's last piece of work for Square's company, Final Fantasy. But that was not the case. Final Fantasy was a huge success, and the fans loved the music. This was the spark for Uematsu's career in video game music, and he went on to compose music for over 30 titles, and a lot of those titles were part of the Final Fantasy series. Uematsu composed, or helped compose, the music for 15 titles in the Final Fantasy series. Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, Fables, Chocobo Tales, and the Final Fantasy Legend. Here are some of my favorite tracks from a few of those games, including a bonus track at the end. Also asked to finish composing the music for the legendary JRPG titled Chrono Trigger, which also contained music by Yasunori Mitsuda, and Noriyoko Matsuoda. On top of that, he also composed the soundtracks for a few movies and an anime. In 2001, Uematsu requested the help of composers Junya Nakano and Masashi Hamauzu. To help him complete the score for Final Fantasy X. This would not be the last time he would complete a soundtrack with the help of someone else. In 2003, he joined a band called the Black Mages, in reference to the character from the Final Fantasy series, a Black Mage. and later in 2011, Earth My Papas. Nobuo Uematsu made music history when he appeared an astonishing 5 times in the top 20 of the Animal Classic FM Hall of Fame. And then, in 2012, his track titled Earth's Theme was voted number 16 in the Animal Classic FM UK Hall of Fame, top 300 chart. The track was one he'd done for Final Fantasy VII, and man did he deliver when he composed for that soundtrack. Uematsu is now known as the Beethoven of video game music, and I think that title definitely holds up to its name. In 2003, for the first time, his music was performed live during a symphonic game music concert, and concerts as such are still performed to this day. 2004 and onwards, Uematsu became a freelance musician and founded a music production company/record label titled Dog Ear Records. From 2012 to 2016, his music from the Final Fantasy series appeared multiple times in the Classic FM Hall of Fame. Uematsu's work and journey to success is an insane and motivating story, and has a huge impact on what I think I can do as a career personally. His story shows us that music in the media, video game music, isn't just music. It's an incredible art that changes lives and shows us that it isn't impossible to do something you love for a living. What I wouldn't give to personally thank Uematsu for the huge impact that he's had on my life and millions of others with his music. He is an incredible composer and musician, artist, everything. And if you want to check out his music, totally recommend it. If you do check it out, let me know. It's really good. And thank you.